I was just watching Bailey Sarian talk about lobotomies, and it brought up a whole lot of feelings and thoughts and memories. So I grew up in Red Deer, Alberta. Red Deer, Red Deer, Alberta was the eugenics capital of Canada up until the 70s. Most of these practices were done at the Michener Center. So anybody who was born with Down syndrome, any type of learning disability that was debilitating, mental illness, developmental disabilities were sent to the Michener Center. And they were sterilized, they were lobotomized, they experienced electroshock therapy, they were tortured. You know, it was really the worst of eugenics were practiced there. That location still exists to this day. Now it is more like a care center for people who need additional support for living. But when I worked at what was called then I worked security at a slaughterhouse called Ole Mill at the time. The name's been changed. But I met a man there who had a lobotomy, and he would repeat himself. He would say, "Oh, deadly right, deadly right, deadly right, deadly right." You know, and he was a very imposing physical presence. Like, he was a very large man. You know, every time I saw him, I would think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Tiny from that movie, right? Like, he was a very imposing presence. And what I was told about him is he had a very violent past, very violent history, and they lobotomized him to try and make him compliant. And so he worked at the place. I'd never heard anything had ever happened with him. But when I went to the Ponoka Mental Health Hospital, I was in such a state of despair of my mental health and wanted to be fixed so badly. I asked for electroshock therapy. Oh yeah, I asked for it. I wanted them to do it to me because I was so messed up and delusional and struggling that I wanted to be fixed so badly. They refused. They would not give me electroshock therapy, thank goodness, because I know people who have had it and they lose memories. They have problems remembering their life, right? But this is the reality of the mental health system, where it came from. And so Mad Pride is really important for us to celebrate who we are. We are not a problem that needs to be erased. We are people who deserve to be celebrated.